Good morning, Year 6. It's Miss Joinson, and today it is Thursday, the 7th of January. And in maths today, we are going to be dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000. So yesterday you multiplied by 10, 100, and 1,000. So you should be able to use the skills that you used yesterday to help you in with today's lesson. So there is your success criteria. As I've said, we are dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000. Okay then, so to warm up your brains, we have got some whole numbers here in different formats, and I would like you to have a go at dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. So just like yesterday, when we divide, if we're dividing by 10, we can see that that 10 has got 1 0. So we are making this number here, 42,000, 10 times smaller. So because we're making it 10 times smaller, we need to, obviously you can see that 0 there, but we also need to get rid of that 0, okay? And you're not just getting rid of it just because, there is a reason you are, and that is because that number, 42,000, is going 10 times smaller. So my new number will be 4,200, okay? So using that same skill, using that same knowledge, here we've got again 42,000 divided by 100. So you can see in 100 there are 2 zeros. So if we take those 2 zeros off 42,000, we get 420. And again, we haven't just taken it off just because, we have taken those 2 zeros away from the 42,000 because we are making that number 100 times smaller. Okay, and again, dividing by 1,000, so you've got 3 zeros on 1,000, and we've got 42,000, so we know that your answer is going to just be 42. Okay, so very similar if we moved places to the left or to the right, which we're going to go on to in a moment, you'll be able to see you would get exactly the same answer as well. Okay then, so number 2, you've got 240, and you are dividing by 10. So you've got that 0 on 10 and you've got the 0 on 240. So we are going to make 240 10 times smaller, and the answer you should get is 24. Okay, moving on then to question number 3. Here we've got this bar model. Now we've got our whole, but we haven't got our parts. So let's count up how many parts we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need to work out the parts. So we need to do the inverse. So we've got 80, and we need to divide, oops, I'm going to just put that for now, divide by 10 equals. So again, you've got 1 0 on 10, 1 0 on 80, so we know that that answer is going to be 8. So all of these parts here are worth 8, because we know 8 times 10 equals 80. So I hope that's all okay for you, and we're going to move on. There are your words for today. So you've got the same words as what we've had all week, but today obviously we're just adding in divide. Okay, so here we're using greater than, less than, or equal to complete the sentences. So we've got here 15.62 divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10. So instead of doing 3 lots of dividing by 10, what do you think we can do? You've got 10, 10, 10. You could do 15.62 trying to find my divide sign, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to put this here for now, divided by 100. Okay, because you have, divided by 1,000. So 15.62. Now, if I just move that across there, this part here is really going to help you. So I'm just going to do this part first before we go back to that question. So when the new number is divided by 10, the number moves. Now remember, this is exactly the same as yesterday's lesson. So if you can remember from yesterday, we moved 1 place to the left when we were multiplying because we make the number bigger. But now we are dividing, we're making the number smaller. We are moving one place to the right when divided by 10. When divided by 100, we move 2 places to the right. Remember, you've got 2 zeros in 100, so you move 2 places to the right. And then finally, when dividing by 1,000, you move the numbers 3 places, because there are 3 zeros in 1,000, again to the right. So if I get this number here, let me just make sure I've got some space. Just going to move that across and move that across there. Okay then, so if we go back to this question, 15.62 divided by 1,000, if we start off with our 2 in our hundredths column, we are going to move that 2 3 places to the right, okay? So to the right, obviously it's going to go smaller, isn't it? So this 2 is going to go 1, 2, 3. So that 2 is going to come there. Now remember, before you do anything else, your decimal point stays exactly where it is. The decimal point does not move, okay? So we've just moved the 2, so that is here. Now we need to move the 6. So again, 1, 2, 3, and that 6 is going to go there. And then we are going to move, decimal point stays the same, so we're not moving the decimal point, okay? So we need to go to our next number, which is 5, 1, 2, 3, so that 5 is going to come there. You should be able to see that all the numbers stay in the same position, or say in the same order, okay? So you've got 2, 6, 5, so this here should be 1, and I will just prove it to you by showing you how many times it should move. 3 places to the right, 1, 2, 3, and we've got that 1 there, okay? Now, we have got a number, a place here that hasn't got any numbers in. We can't leave that there, and we've also got a place here without any numbers in, and we can't leave that there either. So you should know for your placeholders, you are going to put a 0 in there. So a 0 to go in the tenths column and a 0 to go in the ones column. There we go. So 15.62 divided by 1,000 is 0.01562. And then here we have got exactly the same as what we've just done, because we are divided by 1,000 here. I've just put those 3 zeros together to make 1,000, and it's exactly the same. So I know that I'm going to put an equal sign in there, because both of those answers, I don't even have to work that one out because I've already done it here, are the same. Okay, so let's have a look at this one then. 81 divided by 100. So 81 divided by 100. So if you haven't got any decimal numbers, please don't worry, because at the end of every ones column, there is a decimal point. Even though you can't see it, it's there, okay? And we're dividing by 100, so we're moving 2 places to the right. So my decimal point still stays the same. Just move that up. There we go. Okay, so this time I'm going to use a pen. Hopefully it might be a bit thinner. I'm going to start with my 1 in my ones column, and I'm going to move it 1 place, 2 place. So that 1 is going to come down, and that is going to go into the hundredths column right there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the 8. Move it 2 places to the right, 1, 2, and that's going to go into our tenths column. Now we have got a missing place value before the decimal point. We can't have that, so we then need to make sure that we put a 0 in as our placeholder. If I can just get rid of that and put it separately, there we go. Okay, so we know that this answer here is 0.81. So you now need to work out 81 divided by 100, then divide it by 10 again. So we know we can just put this 0 from the 10 onto this 100. So this is actually being divided by 1,000, okay? And then those 2 at the bottom, you've got a decimal point there. Remember, the decimal point stays exactly where it is, and the numbers just move either side. Obviously, today we are dividing, so we need to move the numbers to the right. How many places you move to the right Depends on whether you're dividing by 10, 100 or 1,000. Okay, so do those as your warm-up question. And then for today's work, you are going to be divided by 10, 100, 1,000 on here. Again, you don't need to print this off. You can write it. You can draw out these place value charts. That's absolutely fine. You can screenshot it and work on a laptop or an iPad or a tablet, however is easiest for you. Please remember to send in your work once you are finished. Okay, so you have got those questions to do on there. And then, because we're not having a separate problem solving and reasoning lesson, now you're at home, you're doing it all in one. So this is our going deeper. So we're going deeper with dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000 today. So here you have got use digit cards to create answers to the calculations below. Which calculation cannot be answered? Digit cards can be used more than once. So let's do the first one together then. 5,349 divided by 100. So 5,349. Again, because I haven't got any place value, any decimal point, sorry, don't forget that decimal point is there after that ones column. And before I do any working out, I'm putting my decimal point back where it should be. Okay, now we're dividing by 100, so let's just go back and just see. We need to move the number 2 places to the right. So start off with my 9, 1, 2, my 9 is going to go there. Now your numbers will automatically follow. So instead of doing all of the jumping, you can just write the next number to the 9 and you can see that is a 4. Then you've got a decimal point, but that's fine because the decimal point stays where it is. Your next number to the 4 is a 3, so that stays there. And your next number to the 3, is the 5. So that number will go in your tens column. So 53.49 is the answer. So I can use a 5, yep. I can use a 3, yep. I can use a decimal point, yep. I can use a 4, yep. And you can use a 9. So that answer can be answered. Okay, so I want you to have a go at B and C to tell me what digit cards you will use and then which calculation cannot be answered because the digit cards are not there. Okay then, so you've also got one other question here that I would like you to have a go at. Now remembering converting units of measure, I will put a resource on the website to help you with converting units of measure, but just to remind you, there are 100 centimetres, which equals 1 metre, okay, and there are, oh yeah, that should help you for both of those. All right, so once you've had a go at that question, you can then move on to your problem solving and reasoning questions. Again, just do 3. So if you are bronze, you will do questions 1, 2 and 3. You might want to do 1B, 2A, 3B. It's up to you. But only do 3 questions. For bronze, for silver, again, only 3 questions, sorry, but you're starting on 4. And then for gold and platinum, 3 questions again, but you're starting on question 7. Okay, please email your work to either myself or Miss Davis Moore, or send it to us on Dojo, and we will be adding 2 dojos for every piece of completed work that you send in. If you need any help or support, please let us know, and we will be more than grateful to help you. Have a super day, and we will see you all hopefully very, very soon. Take care. Bye.